welcome to another crafty video. Today's one is part of Tonic's March Madness, and it's actually the memory book die set, but I'm going to be making cards with it. So I've got sort of a plan of what I'm thinking that I want to do. I've laid out my dies. If you haven't seen any of my sort of videos where I've shown this sort of thing before, when I have like lots of ideas to do, like to use one die set or even a few different die sets, and I kind of want to get all of the die cutting done in one go, I lay things out like this. So I try and put all of the dies together that I want to use on that card. So for example, the side of the box of the memory book has a larger and a slightly smaller rectangle, so I'm thinking I won't be able to cut them together, but I could cut them individually and create a tiny skinny little metallic frame to go around one of the panels from the side of the box. I've also got out this little banner piece, which I'm thinking would house the sentiment. Not sure what sentiment yet, but I'm thinking that would be good for the sentiment. I've got the smallest of this cool shape of the new memory book, so you actually get 3 different page sizes. The largest of this makes the box, and then you can fit any of the books inside the box as well, but I'm going for the 2 smallest shapes from the centre. I'm going to cut one inside each other to give a frame, and I might also have another one cut from solid poking in from a different direction. There's also these really cool paper clips. Tonic have done a few different paper clips in the past, but this one's got an adorable little bird on the top of it, and I just think that like pinned onto there, cut from like gold metallic, would look really sweet. And then there's also like little ticket sort of shapes. So I'm going to do the outside one in something metallic or glittery, and then this one actually says under moonlight. But I don't think I want that as a sentiment, but I'm going to cut it from a solid colour of card and then actually hide the debossed wording with a sentiment, so to show you how you can actually change bits and pieces like that, whether it's in the memory book or whether you're using bits and pieces for your cards. Then there's also this gorgeous little debossed panel in there as well, which I'm thinking solid card and some mirror card maybe, and possibly doing like 4 of them just as a really simple card. I thought that would work really, really nicely. And then there's this piece here, which is actually the panel to decorate the 2 ends of the box. So these would be like the sides of the box, and then you have the 2 ends of the box here. And that's actually like the perfect size to go on my favourite size of a card. So you also get in the die set these gorgeous leaves. I love this kind of a leaf. And you get this lovely flower die set as well. This one in particular I'm really liking the look of. I might use this one too, might use this one, not sure yet. But I've got all of those out. And what I want to do is cut a bunch of them from different colours. I'm thinking of going for navy blue for the background and then greys and silvers, because it kind of goes with the colour scheme of the paper pads that are coming out as part of March Madness as well. And I'm thinking of just like making my own sort of like patterned panel, just layering up all of the dies all over this. So I think that's what I'm going to do on that card. But equally, a piece of the patterned paper would work really nicely if you don't want to do a bunch of die cutting. And then for the corners of the box, you actually have these pieces which fit on. You've got 2 of them because one side is slightly longer than the other, and they fit on the corners of the box or the book to add as a decoration, but they kind of look like little chevrons. So I thought it would be quite nice just to have a few little, which way around did I plan on putting? Oh no, I was going to put them that way up. So a few little chevrons, maybe 3 of them, sort of pointing up off the top of the card, and then maybe like a sentiment down here or something. So they're kind of like my plans. And I'm going to go with this kind of a colour scheme. If I need some vellum, I'm going to use the gold vellum from Tonic. I've got a couple of different grey tones, a couple of different really navy coloured tones, and then I've got some gold mirror card and gold glitter card as well. And I'm thinking that'll make some really nice cards. But this is actually the whole set. It's one of their fantastic double A4 die sets, and you can see just how much you get in this set for creating your memory books. I did do a memory book and I did do a box, which I sent off to Tonic, so you should be able to see that on their unboxing video or their launch video. But if you want to see how I create my memory books, I did a video a little while back showing how I create a foam tape spine, and that's what I did for the book that I sent to them as well. And it was basically just decorated with all of the gorgeous papers. And the papers that they have, I made 4 cards yesterday evening. I just put a little gold foil sticker on there and put some glitter card behind it, and just used on a few of them just a panel of the patterned paper because they're just so gorgeous. You get like grey variations, pink variations, and then this gorgeous navy blue variation. And then I used some of the scraps that were left over from making the memory book and the box just to cut into random squares and create this card as well. So just some really simple cards using the papers. But the great thing about the papers this time is there are 2 different sizes and they're actually different. So this one was made using the 12 by 12 because you can see it's much larger scale, and other than the gold splats that I put on there, which is the Midas touch, you can see it's very like image on top of solid background. But the other 2 that I've used here, these are from the 8 by 8 pad, and they have a more like distressed texture to them. So all of this texture up here is on the papers. I haven't added that. It's like gorgeous little splattery textures onto there, and this one's got gorgeous like little diamondy pieces and script running through it. So if you like more shabby chicy kind of distressed, you know, almost like a little bit vintagey, but it's more of a modern vintage, with that sort of distressing on there, the 8 by 8 pad is the way to go. But if you just like the gorgeous florals or the birds or the butterflies on top of the colours, then the 12 by 12 papers are the way to go. So I thought I'd just mention those papers in here as well while I'm doing this video. But I think what I'm going to do is speed up, or maybe just die cut everything and then come back and then possibly showing you how to put it together in real time. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm basically just going to pick through these colours of cardstock that I've already selected because I just really enjoyed that navy kind of theme of this. I feel like the navy goes so nicely with a little bit of gold. So I'm going to allocate cardstock to all of those dies, get it all die cut out, and then I'll come back to you to show you assembling all of the bits and pieces on the cards. I'm back and I've done all of the die cutting. I've just kind of placed things on, and I've added extra flowers on some of the cards as well because I felt like they'd go quite nicely. I think what I want to do next is decide on sentiments. I love using my ancient old Dymo labeler, which was my dad's, this one, which I pinched off of him. And recently I was just looking on eBay and I found someone selling genuine Dymo 6mm tape, which is what this one takes, and the genuine stuff sticks better, even though it's probably older than me. It has better adhesive than like the cheaper ones that you can buy, and they were basically the same price, but different colours that I've never had before in the 6mm, and I don't think I've ever had grey in the 9mm either. So I've got a glossy grey which might go, I'm not sure if it's quite the right grey, it might work, we'll have to see. Or if not, I've also got a gold as well, so we could see if the gold would go. I think that goes quite nicely, but I just wanted to do the sentiments first because I'm thinking on this card I might want to put the sentiment between the squares, and then you kind of need it there to be a place marker. So I'm going to take the black out of the back of this, and then I'm going to feed my gold into there. And then I think happy birthday is always a good one to have lots of birthday cards, so I'll do happy birthday. Okay, so we've got a happy birthday, then let's do a thank you. Okay, happy birthday and thank you. Do I do them all in gold or do I do some of them in grey? Let's do these 2 in gold. So we've got a thank you and a happy birthday. And then let's do a couple in grey. And I'll maybe do birthday wishes instead of happy birthday. I think birthday wishes might cover up the writing on that quite well. So I'll do a separate, I'll do like an extra gap between the words on this one so that I can cut them into two. Okay, birthday wishes. Oh, the W didn't turn out very well. Let's do write wishes again. W's still not that great. Oh well. I think maybe the W's going a bit on this one. Also, the M's always a bit dodgy on this one as well. So we've got birthday wishes, and we've got happy birthday and thank you. Let's do a get well soon, because I don't have many get well soon cards. I have the same issue with the W though. Okay, W is a bit better on that one. Okay, so we have got, oh, okay, we have got our different sentiments, which we can chop down. So I'm thinking get well soon could go on this card, I think. And then I was thinking happy birthday for this card, although because I've left quite a bit of space there, I might even make it so that it's the exact width of the squares so that it fits in line. We'll see how that goes. Then I'm thinking the birthday wishes can go on this one, and maybe if I map this onto gold and then cut around it again, it will definitely hide the debossing in that label shape. And then the W is not brilliant on this, but I think it will do. So we'll do birthday wishes on that one, possibly matting onto gold to really hide the embossing on there. And then this one we can do thank you, and I might map this onto navy or grey just so it stands out a little bit more as well. But I think a gorgeous little thank you sentiment will work really nicely on that card. So because there's quite a lot of sticking involved, especially on this card, I think I'm going to stick quite a lot of it together and then I'll come back and talk to you, but I'll speed it up so you can see me sticking it together. So I think they turned out really nicely actually. I really liked this gorgeous panel. It didn't show up as much in just the plain cardstock as it does in the mirror card, so I had spare flowers from the next card, so I just put a flower on each of them and then cut some more of the sort of middle portions of the flowers from gold glitter card to kind of match in with the gold mirror card. And I also had one of these left over from the next card as well. And it has all of the same debossing kind of designs in it, so I thought just add that on there for something a little bit different as well. And to go along with this diagonal, I cut the ends of the happy birthday to be diagonals as well, and then the centres of the flowers, I'd pre-made some Nouveau drops for when I was making the memory book, because I put flowers on and I put the Nouveau drops in the centre, and it is the Velvet Evening colour, so really beautiful dark blue colour of Nouveau drop, and they work really nicely to go along with this navy blue and gold kind of theme. Then this is the second card, which the leftovers were from. So this was taking the large panel that's supposed to be for like the end of the memory book box, and then cutting out a bunch of the different leaves. You've got this solid leaf that's got these little 2 dots in it, and then you've got the larger version and the smaller version of the sort of more intricate veiny leaves as well. You've got the sort of inner portion of a flower, and then you have the spiky version or the rounded version, so I just sort of swapped them over. You've got a light grey rounded version with the inner portion, dark grey spiky version with the inner portion on top, and I've just sort of layered them all up under and over each other to kind of give a scattered random sort of effect. And then I trimmed off all of the edges. You could have die cut that if you wanted to like bevel the edges as well, but I decided to die cut the panel first and then put them on, but you could definitely do it afterwards, or just put the die back on and run it back through again to press down the edges. I used the gold Dymo label tape again to do thank you, and I put the 3 of those little corner pieces on, of which I've just realised I was supposed to put those the other way around, because I've got 2 that have the short side and then 1 that has the long side. But anyway, I only just noticed, so it's probably not that noticeable. It's just the patterns are different because of the length of the side, but yeah, I think that still looks nice, and it adds like a detail of drawing your eye up the card, which I like as well. So that's the second one. Then this was the third one that I finished, although this birthday and wishes are having a little bit of trouble sticking to the glitter card, so I might have to remove this and map them onto just grey card maybe to tie the grey colour in rather than the glitter card. But I quite like how this one turned out as well. I decided to cut these 2 at a diagonal because I thought I was going to use the one from grey, but then I decided to cut the label from navy, and then I thought, well, there's not going to be any other navy on the card because I hadn't decided to put those bits on at that point. And so I thought I'll cut the same one from navy and then diagonally cut it as well and add that on. I love the little bird paper clip, and you can hang over whichever side you want. I hung over the smaller side, but you can also do the larger side as well, which kind of goes the opposite way. I cut the 2 dies together to create the frame, and it's actually got the double sort of dot detail, and it's hard to see on glitter card, but you can see the sort of double dot detail that it is on that little mirror card tag. Then you've got like the ticket tag on there, the next one layered up, and then the sentiment is covering the debossed wording, but I think I might have to faff around with that because it's not sticking very well. It keeps doming up. I've had acrylic blocks on it to try and keep it down. This little navy flower, you might think it is the centre here, but it's not actually. It's from here in this decorative panel, and I thought, oh, I could add a little bit more navy blue into this card to sort of tie in the elements, so it worked really nicely to put in the centre there. And I could have cut 2 more of them, but I decided just to put a Nouveau drop in the other 2, so this is more of like the focal one. And I also had 1 gold leaf left from this card too, so I just put a little bit of that poking in from the bottom to tie in with this bit of mirror card and this bit of mirror card too. So different to these 2 cards, I'd say these 2 are my favourite, but I do quite like this one as well. It's got a bit more open space on it, and it would do for a more masculine card as well, which is nice. And then finally I did the Get Well Soon one, and this was using the 2 layers that go on the sort of angled sides of the boxes, and you get 2 different panels, one that cuts a slightly wider rectangle and one that cuts a slightly narrower one. they're probably designed more to have the larger one underneath and then you cut the detail into the smaller one and place it on top. But you can cut the large one first and then place the small one in the middle to get a tiny skinny little frame. It goes a little bit wonky when you stick it down, but I think it looks fine. And I did actually use the middle of that frame to offset wonkily underneath it as well. I cut the detail from navy blue and I backed it with the gold vellum that Tonic do. This strip I was going to put my sentiment on, but I quite liked it as just an element in the back of the card. And then to tie the grey in, once I decided I wanted to put this here, I was just looking on my desk and I was like, oh, those two bits work well. They were just the layered up flowers left over from a couple of places on this background here, and they worked really nicely, and the Get Well Soon looks good on there too. So I hope you enjoyed this video for March Madness for the memory book Remember When We Danced, I'm pretty sure it's called, and it's a double A4 die set that has all of the elements that you need to create this massive box to house a memory book. And when I made my box for the memory book, I did actually test to see, because I was thinking it would be a good box to like gift a big set of cards in, like if you've made a bunch of them, maybe with the pattern papers, just really quick and simple ones like the ones that I showed you at the beginning of this video, which feels like forever ago because I've had lunch in between. But if you made like simple cards like this, the big box that the memory book die set creates would actually fit really comfortably a bunch of 5x7 cards with envelopes in there as well, if you did want it more for gifting something, you know, as well as putting a memory book inside of it, can actually fit like a lovely set of cards in there as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're enjoying March Madness as well. I do have one of the other launches, so I'm not sure if that's going up before or after this video, but there is one more March Madness launch video that I'll be putting up as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!